Hello, Krakow. I'm very, very happy to be here. My second time in Poland, and my first time in Krakow. I was in Gdansk for Christmas last year, and I absolutely love it here. My mother's whole family is Polish, and it's one of those things as an American, when you go back to where your grandparents are from, it's very special. So, and I just absolutely love this place. So anyways, I'll just, I'll just get right into it. So I go to different countries and consult on how to build their startup communities, as he mentioned, and I've developed a recipe. And the recipe was developed in Los Angeles, which is my hometown. And the recipe came about when, do you remember London had the Olympics last summer? Everyone remember that? And when London, can everyone hear me in the back, by the way? Okay. So when London got the Olympics, they got it in 2010. They got the award, right? Like they knew 2 years early that they had the Olympics. And they decided we need to make London amazing, because in 2 years we're going to have the biggest party in the world called the Olympics. So we need to start thinking now, how do we make London amazing? And the area in London where the Olympics is called the O2 Arena. And that area is also where some of the early startups were in London, which was called Silicon Roundabout. So the government said, let's make this area the tech city. And it's a bunch of bars and a bunch of dance clubs. Let's make it really nice and look like the Silicon Valley of Europe. That was the idea. So the Prime Minister, David Cameron, said, let's make London the Silicon Valley of Europe. And everyone here knows what Silicon Valley is, I assume, right? So it's a great vision, it's a great idea. How do you do it? So and this is the Prime Minister. This is like the most powerful person in the country, and he's committed to doing this idea.
Not the Queen?
No, the Queen can't do really anything. So they created a team of 3 people, and those 3 people, the first thing they did, what do you think they would do? That's a very difficult dream to create. So what do you do? What's the first step? The first step is they looked at all of the different cities around the world that are growing as tech communities, and they realized, okay, you know, you have Tel Aviv, and you have Boulder, Colorado, and you have a little bit in Seattle, and definitely Silicon Valley. But at that time, in 2010, Los Angeles was exploding as a tech community. So they came to Los Angeles, the 3 guys, and they met with the CEOs. And they said, what's happening here? What's happened is something special in the water here that people are drinking, that this is happening here. And they were all friends of mine. They were meeting, and after the 3 meetings, they called me and said, hey, we had 3 meetings this morning, and everybody says, we need to meet you. Can you meet us for dinner tonight? So we had a very long dinner, and then during the dinner, I realized, you know, what is happening in Los Angeles that is working? Because in LA, from 2008 to 2010, it exploded. And Krakow today, I realize now, it's like 2009 Los Angeles. Just at the beginning of the explosion. 2010 was ridiculous. And I'll show you some of that. And so I realized, well, we have there's a recipe, and this is the recipe behind you. And we did this at the dinner when I was talking with London, and London said, this is great. Can you please come to London and meet the Prime Minister, and let's work on this together. So that's what we did. And then at the end of the Olympics, I finished with London, and then I went to Stockholm, where I am based today. And now Stockholm is doing the same recipe, and it's working really well in Stockholm as well. And now I do other cities as well in Australia and maybe Krakow, we'll see. But I am really impressed with and for me, this is the most exciting moment when it's just starting, when you have 200 people like this at your monthly event. I remember it's a warm memory in my mind when LA, when we had, you're at your 6th event now, I saw, was it number 6, 8? In LA, how many were at the first one?
About the same.
Oh, wow. So in LA, it started with 14, and then 40, and then 90 for a couple times, and then we got to 200, 400, 600, 800, It just kept going. It kind of leveled off about 800. Anyway, so let me get into this recipe. The recipe is about meetups, which I'm going to show you, about a flag, which I'm going to talk more about, and we're going to create one here tonight. You don't have a flag yet, and you need one if you want to be a real community. I'm serious. And we're going to create one tonight. It's going to be fun, and it's going to change this community like you would never believe. And 2 months from now, you might have double the people here if we do this together. It's going to be very cool. And we're going to talk about the town hall meeting. This is the town hall meeting. You're sitting in it. Every tech city needs to have a monthly event like this. And a lot of cities don't, you do, and that's partly why it's working here. I'm going to talk about Documentarian, the Nest, and then the other 5 I don't have a lot of time to talk about, but we might come back to that. So let's jump into it. So meetups. How many people here go to a meetup of some kind, like a Python meetup or an iPhone developer meetup or a Ruby meetup or something like that? Most people here? Yeah, right. So this is the fundamental piece of every tech community around the world. We're switching mics. So when I was looking online, now this is Stockholm, 9 months ago when I really started working there, about a year ago really. And you look at the numbers, if you can see them, I'll point it out. There's 136 in the Django meetup, 283 in the Lean startup, Big Data had 300, Python had 400, Cocoa had 200, Ruby had 100, Lean UX 100, Hadoop 190. You get the idea. This is your meetups today from this morning. I took it this morning. Your Google one has 500, Smart Meetups 420, Craftsman 400, .NET 390, Java 390, Scala 300, Ruby 200. That's really good. This is the most exciting period because this means a year from now, these are going to be 4 times the size. Here's why. I see this and I get very excited because right now you have about 20 meetups happening. A year from now, you're going to have 40. And the size, you're going to have double the number of meetups, and the attendees at the meetups is going to go about 4x, 5x in the next 12 months. Yeah? This is Stockholm today. 9 months later, 1,500, 1,200, 1,200, 800, 800, 800, 600, 600, 600. Same meetups. They're about 9 months later. You saw on the last slide, they were like 300. Now they're like 1,200. So it's about a 4x jump on all of the meetups. And easily a double or triple in the same city from 2 slides ago. Same city. 9 months later. So this is going to happen here, hopefully, if we do everything correctly. How did we do this? Is anyone interested how we did this? Okay, good. This is what it's all about. So if this happens, why is this so important? And how did we do it? So the first thing is the flag. In Los Angeles, the first thing we did was we created a hashtag called Silicon Beach, like Silicon Valley, but we have a beach and they don't, so Silicon Beach. So, and then you see the tech press, the journalists started using this name, Silicon Beach, Silicon Beach, Silicon Beach. And it started to create a buzz in Silicon Valley. They started talking about Silicon Beach. Why? How did we do this? Because we argued actually for 6 months about this name at different cafes and at meetups, and then so-and-so wants to use this name. No, I hate that name. Let's use this name. Blah, blah, blah. And then once we agreed on the name, everyone started going to the meetups. Remember, everyone who raised your hand, you said you go to meetups. Now, when you go to a meetup, you'll take out your phone. You'll take a photo, you'll put it online in English and say, I'm at the Ruby meetup, it's amazing. Look at all the people. Hashtag Silicon Krakow or whatever your flag is going to be. And when everyone does this, and who here goes to an event at least once a week? That's now. Wait 12 months and it'll be most of the people in this room. So what'll happen is maybe you have 1 tech event per night now. That was Stockholm a year ago. We now have 3 events every single night. Sometimes 4, sometimes 5. So you'll start going to events, taking photos, and use the hashtag, and then everyone around the world that is following you on Twitter, they'll start to realize, like, holy shit, this Silicon Beach thing is real. There's like hundreds or thousands of people using the Silicon Beach hashtag, and now this is happening in Stockholm also. So in Stockholm, I just did a little report for the beginning of November only. For the first 4 days of November, we had 328 tweets with the Stockholm Tech hashtag. And we created the hashtag in about 20 minutes. In LA, it took 6 months of arguing. In Stockholm, I said, when I came, I said, we did an event like this. I said, no, we're going to vote right now. Who has an idea for a hashtag? And we wrote it down. There was 20 of them. And then we voted on all 20. And STHLM Tech, at the top you see there, that won. That was the community flag. And we started using this. And in the beginning of November, for the first 4 days, there was 328 tweets from 116 people, average follower count of 2,600. This impact and reach is about 500,000 people saw this in the beginning of November alone. This is why you're starting to see articles like this. Forget Berlin, Stockholm startup scene has come of age. And many of the investors in London and Berlin now think Stockholm is the real tech city, not Berlin, because we're using this hashtag together at every event, and we're taking photos and doing this. Because before this, they didn't know what was here. And you know what? Before I came here, I didn't know what was here. Nobody knows what is here except for you. And there's all of these investors outside that would love to know this is here. And while I'm here, I'm taking photos and putting it online, but I don't have the hashtag yet. And if you use the hashtag together, they start to remember it. They're like, I've seen that hashtag before. Well, there's a lot going on there, like Silicon Beach, like Stockholm Tech. So I would very much encourage you. I have nothing to do with this event officially. Nobody owns the hashtag. Nobody owns Silicon Beach. Nobody owns Stockholm Tech. This is not a government initiative. It's not a school initiative or a company initiative. Who wants to create the hashtag tonight for this community? Let's do it. This is very, very important that you have this. So let's do this very quickly. Who has an idea for, I have an idea for a hashtag. KRKTECH. That's what I would suggest, but this is not my community, so don't, that's your idea? Did I steal it already? Shit, sorry. Let's vote. First we need to get ideas. We need like 10 ideas first. But let's hear all the ideas. Like when we did it in Stockholm, we had 20 of them. I wanted to make sure everybody had their chance. Who has an idea? Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually my girlfriend's idea, but she's too shy.
Yeah.
So she came up with
It's usually the girl's idea anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Okay, so it's silicon bubble.
Okay.
Bubble is a castle.
Okay. Okay. We're going to go quickly though. Okay? Anyone else? Yes. Silicon Kingdom. Okay.
Crack up.
Crack up.
Crack on.
So we've got 3 here. I'm going to go back and after we hear them all.
Maybe we can write it down.
Okay. Do a notepad. We're going to write these down, and then we're going to go through the list and then vote. You can vote more than once. And the one that gets the most votes, that's going to be the official hashtag flag for Krakow. You ready? You can use a sticky note even. Yeah. So he's going to write them down one more time. Did you get the first 3? Make sure, how did you spell it?
I think Martin will know how to do it.
Okay. And you got crack up and the castle? Back here, anybody? Over here.
There was Babel Castle and Dragon, so Silicon Cave.
Silicon Cave. Okay. You don't have to use silicon, by the way. In Stockholm, we didn't. So, anybody else? What's that? GRG. I want what you're drinking. So. Anybody else? Dragon Nest. That's kind of cool, actually. Krakow Dragon? We should have waited for the bar after the hashtag. I'm realizing now. This is a beer-influenced hashtag in Krakow. Anyone else? Have we got all these?
I think so.
We got it here. We got KRK Tech, that was mine. Silicon Waffles, KRK. Sorry. KRK, INT, Dragon Nest, Krakow Dragon, Crack Up. Anybody else? Hands up. Silicon Dragon. I like that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're going to increase the font size in a second.
Why won't we use graphene instead of silicon? Because the graphene is the future technology. And
Okay.
everybody uses silicon.
We could use fucking bitcoins. It doesn't matter to me. This is your community, it's not mine. So, Krakow plus plus?
Let's make it longer.
Let's do Krakow plus plus. That's kind of That's kind of interesting, actually. Anybody else? I kind of like that. Yeah. OMG KRK, or you want? We might have a winner. The beer here is good, isn't it? Anyone else? Don't be shy. We don't want to be stuck with a bad name fucking forever. That would be a shame.
KRK community.
KRK community. That makes sense. Anyone else? We need 3 more at least. Come on. I want the girls have the better ideas anyway, so we need some female influence on this. Vistoa Valley? Okay, you got it. Put it up there. Anybody else?
It's already there.
IKRK. Okay.
Maybe create of like create and go like create go. That sounds strange, but
Are we ready to vote?
Yeah.
We're ready to vote. Last chance. Spell it.
No idea what to do.
I'm not sure what he spelled either. CR.
create plus go.
Okay. We'll get it. We'll get it. We're going to vote now. You can vote more than once. Okay? And then whoever wins, we're going to take a photo and we're going to put it on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram with the hashtag, okay? Okay, here we go. Raise your hand for KRK Tech. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't matter. KRK Tech.
I just have one more proposition.
Yes.
Sorry for late. What tech crack? What tech crack?
Wow. Now I know where my grandfather got his humor. This is very enlightening for me.
We need more.
Oh my God. Wow. This is being video recorded, right? Yeah. Okay.
Has to be what's the crack?
Oh no, he wants another one. Hold on. I'm Open Krakow. Open KRK. Okay, so here we go. You can vote more than once. I'm not going to count the hands. We're just going to get an idea which one had the most hands up, and then we'll go back and we'll remember which ones had the most hands. So show your hands for KRK Tech. Okay, it looks like about 30, 40. Silicon Waffles. Similar, about 20. KRK INT. You're out. Dragon Nest. It's tied with the first two. Krakow Dragon. You're out. You can delete Krakow Dragon and Krakow INT. So Crack Up. We can keep him in there, and he might be in the lead. Silicon Dragon is out. Krakow Plus Plus is out. Oh my God, Krakow. Yeah, we might have a winner. Krakow Community. He's out. Vistula Valley is out. IKRK is out. Create Cow. That one's out. I know you guys like it. What the Crack is out. Open KRK. So now we're going to go back through and raise your hands again. Now we've narrowed down the list. KRK Tech, about 20. Silicon Waffles, about the same. Dragon Nest, about the same. Crack Up, a little more. So you can delete the first 3. Oh my God, Krakow. I think we know where this is going. Korea Cow is out. Open Krakow is out. It's down to these 2. Crack Up.
Be serious.
Oh my God, Krakow. Oh, there you go. There's your hashtag, folks. I fucking love it myself. Oh my God, Krakow. Yeah.
High five, man.
Yeah.
That was great. I'd like to thank my mother.
Buy that guy a beer. That was genius. Okay, back to the presentation. Take a photo. Now, who here is an event organizer of one of the meetups I showed on the slides here? Has anyone organized one of the meetups? Over here? Only one. So this is the next thing that this community needs to do, is to bring all of the organizers of all of those meetups together with their members, and then this event will be doubled next month. So all of the event organizers tell their members, hey, next month we're all getting together at this one place. And it's going to be fucking huge. It's going to be 500 people easily. And you're going to check in and use the, and each community member, each organizer tells their members, look, you came here for free, you drank the free beer or whatever. At least do me a favor and take a photo. Let's show the world what the fuck we have going on here. Oh my God, Krakow. Make sense? Does this make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So, we've got a hashtag. I can't wait to tweet this. This is Can we go back? Yeah, that one there in the back. There we go. So before long, you will see journalists say, oh my God, Krakow. Forget Berlin. Oh my God, Krakow. I can't wait. Now, I mentioned the town hall meeting. This was the first town hall meeting in Stockholm. It was 75 people. That was 10 months ago. January to be exact. So no, 11 months ago. This was this morning at the Open Coffee, which was another fantastic event. And this is the other thing this community needs to do, is promote each other's events. So this the big community event where all the event organizers come together with all their members, all the event organizers take turn coming on stage and telling about their next event. And then we need a calendar for all of these events. Make sense? And once that happens, magic starts happening because people outside find out about the calendar and they're like, oh, I'm going to plan my trip around these 3 events or whatever. So when I was in LA, when I was at this event on stage, I showed LA's monthly meetup, which was about 800 people at the time. But we had been doing it for 2 years. And everyone there was like, oh my God, we're never going to have that. That's going to take a long time. Here's today. It's bigger than the LA event. In fact, I have one on November 25th. I invited one company from here to come present there. And I already have 800 people registered for the event, for this for the one on November 25th, and it's still 4 days left, so I'm probably going to have 1,000 people register. And this was in January, and this is today. Well, that was 2 months ago. The one today is crazy. It's insane. So that's what's going to happen here too. It's going to be very exciting, and it helps everybody, because who here is trying to get money for their idea or their startup or whatever? It's not easy, right? You need investors and everything. This is how we get the investors here. The investors realize, like, wow, oh my God, Krakow. Like, I got to come down and check it out. Like, look at all the shit that's happening. Look at all these photos with a room full of people. Who hasn't taken a photo yet of the room and put it on Twitter? You need to do this. This is what we're talking about. This is not a game. This is not a joke. Like, you take a photo, you put it on Twitter, everyone online, and do it in English, and say, Krakow now has a flag. Oh my God, Krakow, look at everybody at the event or whatever. I know it's funny, I love it myself. But next thing you need is a documentarian. A documentarian is one person in the community who goes to every single event, all the meetups, takes photos, puts it online, oh my God, Krakow, and everyone outside sees what's happening. And everyone inside sees what's happening, because there's a lot of stuff happening here that even you don't know about, that I don't know about. And I don't have time. And maybe once a week they send out a newsletter via email, so you can see everything that's happening in the town with the calendar. Make sense? Somebody needs to do this. If somebody does this, they will get sponsors. Google will sponsor it. Microsoft will sponsor it. An attorney will sponsor it. People will sponsor it. Okay, and even I'll even tell the city. I've been talking with the city already. I told the city in Stockholm. This is, by the way, the Documentarian in Stockholm. It's called Swedish Startup Space. You see in the upper right corner. See this second story right here? Stockholm's Instabridge announces free Wi-Fi in Amsterdam. They just launched 500 Wi-Fi spaces in Amsterdam yesterday. Guess what? Have you ever heard of Reddit? Anyone here heard of Reddit? Guess what was the #1 story on Reddit yesterday? Instabridge announces free Wi-Fi. This is Stockholm's Documentarian. One guy who goes to the meetups wrote the article on our official blog for the Stockholm tech scene. He's #1 on Reddit. You know how fucking hard that is? That without boobs in your story? That's really hard on Reddit. This was 24 hours ago. Our documentarian is hot, right? That's how hot our tech scene is now, right? So I want, oh my God, Krakow on Reddit. Next thing you need is a nest. And funny, and I say this in every city. I've been using this word for 2 years now in London and LA and everywhere. LA has a nest. It's called Coloft. London has a nest. It's called Google Campus. More or less, there's a nest here, and there's the idea to build like a Uber community nest. And the Uber community nest is a place where there's events happening almost every night. The nest, and I'm going to show you the net here. Let me show. This is the one in LA. It's called Coloft. This is the one in Stockholm. It's called SUP46, and it's a very dark photo. But you see in the bottom, it's an event space. You see the girl on stage here with the screen. And the beautiful part of the nest is basically, if you want to do a meetup, you have an idea, I want to do my own meetup, I want to do a meetup for Android development or Windows Phone development or whatever it is you want to do, or a girl geek meetup, and there's a ton of, I can't believe how many girls are here. This is awesome. We struggle with this in LA and in Stockholm. There's not enough girls in the tech community. So somebody should definitely do a girl geek meetup. I'll be there. I will definitely be there. Especially Polish girl meetup. I would be there in a second. So the point of the nest is that it's a place where you can host your meetup for almost free with a beautiful screen and a stage and sound and a mic and everything and good Wi-Fi. It's much better than using a cafe, okay? And then we do parties there as well. And Stockholm definitely knows how to party, but maybe Krakow maybe knows how to party better. So I'll find out on Friday night. So so I've been here for like 24 hours, and I've realized a couple of things about some of the startups here. So I have a few criticisms because I've been trying to be very helpful, and a few ideas I want to leave you with is, for those of you who are entrepreneurs, focus on real problems. Build strong. One of the criticisms I have of some of the people I met here is you have to build strong teams, and you have really strong engineering talent here, really strong. That is one of the amazing things about this city, and that's why this city is going to be an amazing tech city in the next 2-3 years. Because the smart people in Silicon Valley, the entrepreneurs like myself, we know you have amazing engineers here, and we're trying to steal them. So And few cities in the world have the engineering talent that you do. This is really an important point because that's where the real innovation happens. But you need to get better teams together with, get some, a marketing person and more of a business person who went to business school involved with your engineering team. Because some of the teams I'm meeting, there's just engineers, which is great. It's the opposite problem in the other parts of the world. They need better engineers. You have them. That's the hard part. You have the hard part. You just need to add the marketing guy to your team to make it easier to market. And then seeking out mentorship. So if you know your old boss or whatever, somebody who's a successful business person, try and get them to engage in the community and don't be afraid to reach out to them and get them involved. Mentorship is another important part of a community, and it's something that is a little bit lacking here compared to Stockholm. Stockholm has a lot of old, successful guys who are helpful in the community that were very successful. You might be harder to get the professors involved, in the community and everything like that. And have them come to the monthly meetup and everything. It's a community effort, the monthly meetups and everything. So that's more or less my presentation. I wanted to leave some time for some question and answers because personally I'm very excited about Oh My God Krakow. And this is a real thing. And I hopefully I'll be coming back more regularly, but maybe next year. And I really can't wait to see where this is in 12 months. Because if you guys do half of the things that I'm mentioning, it's going to be a whole other beautiful picture here very soon. Any questions? No questions?
Let's take Tyler with a great round of applause. Thank you for inspiring us.